Well, aloha everyone from Volcano, Hawaii. My name is Matt Holton, and here are a couple of my thoughts of what's been happening here in Volcano as well as in the world at large. First of all, no sign of our beloved cat Ash. We haven't seen her. It's been over a week, so still hoping the best, but pretty sad not to have her here as part of our house and home. So, on some of the other sides of things, I don't know if anybody watched two big events happen this morning. Number one, in the running world, which I know a lot of my YouTube subscribers are here for, the women's world record. First woman to break 2:10. Ruth from Kenya ran a 2:09 with her first half in under 1:05. For some of you who don't know, I was a marathon runner. I actually got to run Chicago and did run a 2:27 there, I believe I want to say 2003. When I ran, I got to run alongside Paula Radcliffe, who broke the world record at the time in Chicago, and she ran a 2:17. At the time, not many women had run under 2:20, and when Paula Radcliffe had broken the record, eventually getting it down to 2:15, there was nobody very close to her. Since then, we've seen the records just come down and down and down, and especially in women's distance running. In women's distance running, we have two women, one who was found to be a drug cheat, running under 29 minutes for the 10K. To give you an idea of how fast the new women's world record is in the marathon, that's under 4:57 per mile. People who are healthy and fit and enjoy running a sub 5 minute mile is usually a pretty difficult task and usually very validating in terms of, feeling like you're moving fast and speed. But to be running 26.2 miles at under 4:57 pace, man or woman, is a remarkable feat. I ended up running 2:23, which is about 5:28 pace for the marathon. And what does this all mean, right? A lot of people still think that it's just the shoes where we're seeing these amazing performances. And I have no doubt, having run in some of these super shoes, that, hey, they feel great. They help in recovery. They play a role. But I think we're seeing something else going on, right? There's bad players. There's people who are cheating. But I think we're seeing individualization and the use of science and data, nutrition in a new form, as well as, right, women's marathoning. 1984 was the first time that women got to. I mean, I don't know, we didn't believe that they could as an organization or a sport at the time. The marathon. Joan Benoit was the first female marathon Olympic winner in 1984 at the LA Olympics. So what I'm trying to say is women's professional distance running is relatively new compared to men's. So I think in the women's side, we're seeing some of these very exceptional performances in the professionalization of the sport, the money that is out there for men and women to win at these major races, as well as women's role in the sport being elevated closer to what men's role has been traditionally. So in Kenya, it seems like there's a lot of families that decide to put their eggs in the basket of the woman being the main bread earner for the marathon and focusing on helping develop the wife's distance training. And it seemed to be playing out pretty strong here. So where is the top two? I'm not really sure. I'm being surprised by the times that we're seeing in women's distance running, as well as the quality and the records that are also happening in men's distance running. The level of college distance running is way different than when I went to college, first attending Bentley College, a Division II school on the East Coast. The level has risen. The number of men running under a 4-minute mile in college is it's just the charts are it's staggering. The number of high schoolers who have run a sub 4 minute mile is increasing. Growing up in the 90s, um, there was one person who broke a 4 minute mile in high school ever. Um, it wasn't until Alan Webb at the Prefontaine meet where he lowered the bar, but we've seen multiple high school boys run under 4. So very exciting times in terms of motivation, inspiration. And back to the point of, well, what does this all mean? Well, I think with data and with better understanding of sports psychology, recovery, nutrition, we're seeing customization for athletes on a level that just didn't exist before. And I think this customization and understanding of the science of the sport is showing up in results. And while a lot of people say yes, there's cheats out there, and of course there are cheats. We're seeing people come up cheating from all over the world. Kenya, I mean, there's no shortage of cheating in running as well as any sport where there's a lot of money, even if there isn't money. So that's definitely tainted maybe the sport, is the greed that is making people choose. I'm not quite sure if it's a shortcut or a boost to their recovery and training to have an advantage over others. But so, and on another amazing thing that happened today, SpaceX successfully caught their booster, and it was quite a sight to see. This thing came down at what, 3,000 kilometers an hour, and they had it pinpointed to the exact location where it took off. Once again, I don't really know how many people feel about space travel, Tesla, Elon Musk, and SpaceX, but in terms of human engineering, it just blew me away to see what looked like sci-fi unraveling in front of our eyes. And I think what this is doing is it's showing that for the first time in space travel, we're seeing the ability to move large masses, 100 tons of equipment into space, to the moon, to Mars, across the globe. We're seeing reusable rockets on a large scale and a massive factory of rockets being built. So for anyone who's interested in engineering and space travel, what a day today was. I just took my breath away, even though I was expecting it to happen. It just seemed completely impossible to be able to catch such a large object on a perfect area without doing much damage to anything. And then, right, as other subjects that are going on, right, we see in the Middle East, today was not a very good day in the escalation, deadly drone attack into Israel. It seems that both sides are just escalating things. There's not much conversation of a ceasefire. It's just a matter of when Israel, with the support of the U.S., maybe is planning an attack in Iran, and Iran is saying that they're going to retaliate from that attack. So it's almost as if we're somehow writing out the future before it happens in such a devastating and unhumanitarian way. And in right, we can't ignore the politics, the geopolitics, as well as what's going on nationally here with a presidential campaign in its way, as we Americans get to decide who's going to be the leader to take us forward in such perilous, deadly times. So to wrap it all up, I guess, we are seeing some amazing performances and breakthroughs in technology and science and the human spirit and humanity, yet we're still being dragged down by our differences in major global conflicts. right? Besides the Middle East, there's tension in North Korea and South Korea, Taiwan, Ukraine, Russia. I mean, it seems like things are just popping up almost everywhere. There's been tensions rising. So that balance, it's great to have some things to look forward. Hey, I always look forward to having Ash come home. She felt like part of the home, but at the same time, being realistic and aware of some of the major concerns that are out there in the globe. Balancing those two things is, a challenge for anybody who has any sensitivity. I find exercising, planting, growing stuff is the best way to keep me centered, and then also having conversations about things that really matter with those close to you, and making sure you have space to listen to others, even if you don't agree with them, or they as long as you can both make space for conversation. I think that's a great way to move forward with life. And here, the garden, everything is just blooming. It's gorgeous. I had my friend Jordan Hart and his family. He has 4 girls. Jordan Hart I went to high school with and have kept in touch with over the years. And he had 4 young girls that were just running circles around this property, having the just laughing, picking flowers, bringing a lot of joy to them as well as to us. So I think what I'll do is I'll also give you a couple videos of some of the updates and some of the things that are growing in the garden. So, but until next time, take care.